Hey, 20-1s. In this video, we're going to learn our final way to solve a quadratic, and we're going to use the quadratic formula, which sounds like it might be something scary, and maybe it'll even look a tiny bit scary, but it's actually rather simple to use. So the quadratic formula is this guy, which is on your formula sheet, but you don't need to memorize it. But you probably will have it memorized after using it just a few times. It's this guy. Hey, like I said, maybe it looks a little bit scary right off the bat, but you're going to find out it's not. Now, the cool thing about the quadratic formula is we can always find our solution with this method, but sometimes it might require more work for us to go this way. This isn't what I'm going to default to. But if I'm 100% stuck, then I'm going to come to this. Now, I'm not going to derive where this comes from, but I will tell you where it does come from is actually just completing the square on a standard form quadratic. That's actually where it comes from. So I want you to think the quadratic formula is nothing more than someone has given us a formula for completing the square in general. That's all it is. So here we go. Let's take a look at this. Algebraically solve using the quadratic formula. Okay, here's how this works. What we do is our formula for the quadratic has an a, a b, and a c in it. So a is the first coefficient, b is the second, including the negative, and c is the third. Just like that. Always write down my formula. So negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. All of it is over 2a. Now, the nice thing about the quadratic formula is all you have to do is sub in your values. So b is negative 5, b squared, I'm going to put that in parentheses because I'm squaring it, and I know a negative number squared is a positive. A is 3, c is 2, all over 2 times a, just like that. And all we just need to keep doing here is simplifying. So I'm not going to pick up my calculator yet. I'm going to simplify as much as I can using my brain. And you're going to find a lot of times in 20-1, we don't need to use a calculator. Plus or minus, well, 25 minus 24 is 1, and the square root of 1 is 1. And so what we do here is we end up with two answers. We end up with the positive 1, or we end up with minus 1. And we say to ourselves, what does that end up giving us? Well, 6 over 6 is 1, or 4 over 6, which I could, of course, say is 2/3. So the nice thing here again is that all you have to do is use your values of a, b, and c and simplify. Not so bad. Let's try another one. So if I was given this on a test, the first thing I would try to do is to factor. I can't. It doesn't factor. So then maybe I would complete the square, or I would use the quadratic formula. So again, never hurts. Write out what your values are. A is 4, b is negative 7, c is 1. Okay, let's write this thing down. Again, negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And we just start subbing values in. So here we go. X is equal to negative 7 like that. Again, put that negative 7 in parentheses, put the squared by it. 4, 4, 1 over 2 times 4. Again, I'm not going to pick up my calculator. The strange thing is that's where I start to see a lot of mistakes. Students grab their calculator too soon. They start trying to put this whole thing in their calculator. There's no need to. Okay, 49 plus, minus 16. Hey, I was just talking about mistakes and I almost made one, didn't I? Minus 16 over 8. And 7 plus or minus root 33 over 8. And that's it, friends. I can't go any further than that because I can't simplify that square root of 33. So those are going to be my two solutions. as exact values. Now, what might happen from time to time is this. So I'm just going to go sideways here. I'm just going to make something up. So say we had, oh, I don't know, 4 plus or minus the square root of 20 over 6. So let's just say we had that from someplace. Okay, what we're going to have to do in this case is we're going to simplify the root 20. So I'm going to say, go all the way back to 10c. I'm going to say, what's a perfect square? That's a factor of 20. 4 is. So 4 times 5. Then I say, okay, the square root of 4 is 2. So that becomes the coefficient of our radical, just like that. And then what we're able to do is, because 2 is a factor of all 3 of these, now we can simplify. So divide them all by 2, and you would have that. So on occasion, don't be surprised if you end up having to simplify some more. And I know I have to simplify some more if what's underneath my radical, called the radicand, has a perfect square for a factor. Then I can keep simplifying. So there it is, my friends, the quadratic formula. Like I told you, it's not that scary, but I don't think it's going to be my first resource. Always try factoring first, and then decide if you want to complete the square or use the quadratic formula from there.